Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices like Aqualin. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going underwater. We're going to be seeing seahorses and jellyfish and crabs and fish and all sorts of different animals. Today we're going to be looking at Aqualin. This is from the sort of Kosmos 2-player line, which historically has been some of the most respected lines in gaming. Let's take a look at how this game plays, and I'll see you on the other side. This is a 2-player abstract strategy game, and this is how the board will look at the end of the game. One player is focusing on colors and trying to get all of the same color, or as many as they can, adjacent to each other, where the other player is working on the actual animals and trying to get as many as they can next to each other. Because for each player, again, whether you're working on colors or animals, for each of those colors or animals, depending on how many you have in your largest, sort of contiguous area, you're going to get a certain amount of points. Now, diagonals don't count. So, for example, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pinks. The player going for colors is going to get 6 points for that. And you're going to do that for every color for the players playing colors, and every animal for the players playing animals, and whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. That's what you're trying to do. So how do you go about actually playing the game? Well, once you've decided who's going for animals, who's going for colors, each player will take one tile from 6 available, and they'll place it on the board. They'll also replace the tile that they took from the draft pool with a random one here, flip it up. So there's always 6. So essentially you always know what the choices are that you and your opponents are going to have coming forward. So now on your turn, now that each player has one out there, what you can do is you can move any one tile as far as it can go, like to the edge of the board, like this, in one similar direction. Let's say this started here. It could be moved up to this tile. It can't move through it, can't push tiles, things like that. But it can be moved any way as far as it can go in one direction till it hits a tile or a board. So like if the player's working on colors, they might slide this like this, and maybe they put this like this, and then they'll flip the next one out. Then the next player who's working on animals might do something like this. Might say, you know what, I'm going to break your color up, and I'm going to put a starfish here, because now I get starfishes and I've broken your colors up, and then they'll flip up a random one. And then the other player might go, you know what, well, 2 can play that game, let's put this here. Now you see, I almost grabbed this one. That would have been a bad idea because, yes, it would have helped them with colors, but it also would have helped this player out with this. That's pretty much the whole entire game. You're going around trying to set yourself up for putting groups together, and I already showed you how to score. That's the game. Aqualin. You can teach the game in literally a minute. It is very simple. You're going to move a tile, place a tile, that's it. But this game has a lot of tension. There's a constant tug of war between the players of one's going for the colors, one's going for the animals, and it's always like, I'm going to move this and slide this. Well, I'm going to undo that, move this and slide this, and it's these people, and you're just trying to move things back and forth and put the right, tiles in the right spots. But the reason why it's a deceptively deep puzzle is because at first when you play the game, even maybe the first 4 or 5 times, you're doing some of the more obvious plays where you're like, oh, well, I'm going to move this color out and break it up, and I'm going to put something else in the middle that helps me right there. But soon you'll find out that, well, that's just going to get moved anyway at some point. So you go from more obvious plays to sort of more sneaky plays where you're playing things that you want to get moved into there, but you put them sort of far away so they don't look like a threat now. But later on, as things start to move and shake, you're going to be able to slide in there and lock it in with another tile so they can't move it out. And so the game has a lot to learn from it, and you definitely get better at it as the games go on. I like the tile pool. Looking at what's available definitely changes your decisions as to, well, where am I going to place? What am I going to place? Because I can see what's coming up soon, and I like how you see just enough to give you, the decision space a lot of interesting things to think about. This is a great addition to the Kosmos 2-player line. That line is sort of one of my favorites, pillared by Lost Cities, and Targi and all those things. They are just always, in the past have had great games in this line, and I'm glad to see that it's still going strong. I first played this game at Gamma, which was the week before, it was in March, right before the United States sort of shut down and sort of quarantined. And so at the time, I had basically thought that this is definitely going to be in the running, or at least a conversation for two-player game of the year. And this was knowing that there's going to be lots of games coming out this year, but it's been a little slow since then, so it's definitely still in the running. There's a couple other games that are on my radar that are going to be fighting this for two-player game of the year. I'll get more on those later as I get towards the end of the year. But this is definitely a fantastic quick game. If you like abstract games that are quick and easy to teach, this is sort of a no-brainer. On the negative side of things, scoring is the hardest part of the game, meaning the actual bookkeeping aspect of this. It's definitely a little fiddly. This should have come with either a little score pad or a way to sort of make scoring a little bit easier, because keeping track of all these, the way we do it is, when the first person scores, you'll place that either color or animal. You put one of those tiles face, sort of like standing on its end until you've done all 5, you put them back down, and then as you count the other ones, you take them off the board. It's a little fiddly. I wish there was a little more streamlined way of doing it, but it's the only negative I really can say about this game. Unless, of course, you don't like abstract strategy games. This isn't going to make you like those. But other than that, this game I like so much, obviously. It's going to be getting a saxophone serenade, meaning it's staying in my gaming library, because when I keep one, I get rid of one. So now I got to go find something to get rid of. That's never fun. Let's hit it. Lucky Duck Games has launched a brand new online shop and are offering you, my viewers, a special discount. During checkout, use promo code GameBoyGeek10 and you'll save 10% on the price of your games. On the Lucky Ducks game shop, you'll find exciting new releases such as Tang Garden, which I recently reviewed, and the link is below, and It's a Wonderful World, as well as award-winning games like Chronicles of Crime, which is one of my favorite cooperative games of all time, and Vikings Gone Wild. So why not visit LuckyDuckGames.com now and find something new to play?